Okay, girls, so we are going to do percentages part 3. So in this video, we are going to talk about percentages of an amount, okay? So what does it mean when we talk about percentages of an amount? It simply means the percentage of something means a part of it, okay? So when we're talking about the percentage of something, we're talking of a piece, a part of it. Therefore, it will be measured in the same units as the amount itself. So we're going to do a lot of examples to exemplify what I'm doing. And I want you to, they're going to do a lot of exercises about this because this is central to when you work on discounts and then marking up prices and financial mathematics, and yeah, this is central. So you will be doing a lot of exercises. Okay, so let's get into it. So 40% of 135. So one thing that I want you to remember, every time that we see the word of, it means multiplication. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to write this percentage as a fraction. So how we're going to solve this? We're going to do 40% means 40 over 100, and as I said, of 135 means times 135. Now, I have a question, girls. If we're talking about 40% of 135, we know, let me do it with grid. We know, because we've been talking about this, that the whole is 100%. Agree? So when I have the whole, I have 100%. Agree? But if we're talking about 40%, so in this case, the whole will be 135. Agree? Like the whole cake will be $135. This doesn't look very clear, but $135. Why? Because this is the whole, but we're talking about 40% of that whole. So it's a piece of it. So if we have our same cake that we had before, I don't know exactly what it will be. I don't know, something like maybe this bit. This, let's say that this bit here is 40%. Okay, so we're trying to find how many dollars is this piece, 40%. So that's what we're doing. So we do 40 over 100 times 135. So what I was going to say is, because it's a piece of it, okay, it's less than 100%. Are we expecting it to be more or less than 135? So I'm hoping that you are saying it's going to be less than 135, because if the whole is 135, 40% has to be less than 135. So I want you to grab your calculator and just look at what we have here. If I write this, we can do 40. Do you agree that I can do 135 over 1? I haven't changed anything. So I can write this one as 40 times 135 over 100. So the reason why I want you to do it like this is because you can do this anywhere. You don't need your CAS only in order to be able to do this. Anytime that you're finding the percentage of an amount, you just have to remember, okay, I have to write it as a fraction, and then I have to multiply by that amount. So you do 40 times 135 divided by 100. Do that in your calculator. And if you do that, you will get that the answer is 54. But I'm not going to write only 54, because it says here that we're talking about dollars. And because we're talking about dollars, this have to be $54. Okay, remember that it will be measured in the same units, as the amount itself, because it's a piece of it. Think about a cake. You're finding the 40% of that cake. So we're still talking about dollars. The original cake was dollars. So what piece of that cake is 40%? Is 54%. Okay, good. Let's do another example. So 26% of 75 and write the answer as a mixed number. I'm doing this example because you will find some of your questions that you're going to do are going to be written like this. So for this one, you need your CAS. So how do we do this? We do 26 over 100. Notice that I'm using exactly the same method times 75, which is equal to, so you have to do this in your calculator. And when you do this, in your calculator, you will find that you get this number as a mixed fraction, 19 and 1/2. If you're not getting this answer, try it with your CAS. Stop here, try to do it with your CAS. If you don't get this answer, please raise your hand and I'll help you to try to get to this answer. Okay, let's do one more, the last one, before going into the next video. Okay, it says 250 students are in a group. 18% of these 250 students were in year 11. How many students were in year 11? Again, so if I think about my big cake, my whole, what is my whole? My whole is 250 students. Agree? This is my 100%. Oops, my 100%. Agree? And I'm going to take a piece of this one. This piece that I'm going to take is 18%. So are we expecting this piece to be bigger or smaller than 250? So we're expecting it to be smaller. So how we're going to do it? We do 18 over 100 times 250. Remember, how do we do this in the calculator? We do 18 times 250 divided by 100. And if you do this, you're going to find that the answer are 45. Do I leave it as 45? No, I have to write in the same units. What is the unit? Students. So 45 is students. Okay, I'm going to stop there and then you can continue watching the next video. Okay, girls?